So the prefabrication world right now is a difficult one to even define because there are very few standards and everyone has kind of gone in a million different directions. So for us, it took us most of the first day to even define what the current state is.
We started off with a very specific mission, and the mission completely changed. And that was, instead of trying to define the current state, because we couldn't, there was an endless web of confusion almost at every stage, which is amazing because the fabrication contractors have amazing output and they're having great success. But they don't have great success until they get to their model. It's everything that happens before their model.
It's all going to make sense in a few minutes. So I'm going to start with a story because the story is relevant to what happened in the last couple of days. And the story is with Jeff and I. Some of you may not know this, but Jeff and I go hunting once a year. And we go up north where we hunt moose. It's pretty, yeah. Is it meese? Yeah. So every single year we do the same thing and we get the same plane. It's a little Cessna. And last year was a little different because the pilot was different. When we showed up, we got 2 moose, AKA meese. And the pilot looks at us and says, there's no way we're getting those 2 moose on the plane with you guys on it as well. The plane cannot handle that load. Jeff and I were like, nope, we do this every single year. 2 moose, same plane, every year we've done it. The only thing that's different this year is you, the pilot. So the pilot goes, well, all right, if you guys do it every single year, then let's do it. So we strapped on the moose. We started to take off. What was this, October? Yeah, October. So we take off. And the plane goes up and boom, smashes, crashes in the water. We didn't get that high. We're obviously alive, so it worked out well. When both of us swimmed, yes, we crashed. Yes, we crashed. But when we came up and we looked, we made it 50 feet further than last year. No. Okay. And that, my friends, is exactly what has happened the last couple of days. You can see a lot of empty space on this board because we only made it about 50 feet and then we crashed and burned. And we suspect that the next 3 to 4 meetings that we have on this topic, we're going to do the exact same thing. Because when we finished yesterday, we were absolutely convinced that the root cause of the problem was that all the stakeholders were not getting together at the earliest stages of the process with the owner to ensure the proper design intent was created. But then today, in conversation with the amazing team members who joined us and with the team members who stayed with us from yesterday, we realized that, you know what, if we were going to change the culture so much that we could actually make that happen, get all the stakeholders together in an industry where everybody is stubborn, number one, but more importantly, time poor and attention poor, it was too heavy of a lift. We were dreaming. There was no way we were going to get everybody to the table that early to have the level of discussion needed to ensure or to determine design intent and start working on a good model, effective model for prefab. So that's when we started to kind of backtrack on what we thought was the right decision the previous day. So we crashed and burned, restarted the conversation, and this is what we came up with. We at least know, not with certainty, because the conversation still has to continue, that at the early stages, it is more important to find owners who are ready to be aligned with the proper process. So whatever process that we determine is going to help us create an effective design to build process, it's not going to work if we don't have an owner who is process ready. So that was number one. Number two, an informed process to begin with, which means we have all stakeholders at the table to have a high level discussion on what the process should be. We are not at this stage fixated on design intent yet. That would also require the trade or fabrication panelists to disclose a lot of their intellectual property. So there was a massive risk to them if they came to the table too early and disclosed too much. They would be putting themselves at risk that they're not willing to accept. Most of them are probably not going to be willing to accept. So just coming to the table and sharing enough information that as a group, we can at least align on a process moving forward, validate that the project is constructible and deserves. The project owner's vision does deserve to make it to the next stage. And that's where we kind of crash and burn, because we have nothing further to offer. Except the good news, the silver lining of all this is that we believe that we have a really effective launch pad to continue this conversation. And when we do continue this conversation, we need owners, the exact owners that we are looking for to facilitate a strong, effective prefab process from design to build. We want those owners at the table for this conversation, or it's all a moot point.